Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the Los Angeles Lakers play the Brooklyn Nets tonight in Brooklyn. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Let's see what's going on. It's 4:30 tonight, 7:30 Eastern. And start with the injury report. Bronny James is a game-time decision with a lower leg. Austin Reeves a game-time decision with his calf. I don't think Austin's going to play, honestly, though. And Aldo Thero is out and should be back next game, according to this thing, February 5th. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think he's going to be a rotation either way, but we can sure use what he does. Hayward Highsmith is the only player on the Brooklyn Nets injury report, so a lot has changed since we talked about the Nets because they had a lot of people on the injury report. I guess they all coming back against the Lakers. Who would be surprised by that? So, yeah, the Brooklyn Nets are a bad team. They've had some historic blowouts lately, y'all. I'm not going to lie to you. These are some of the worst blowouts anybody has had in some of these cases. They lost to the Knicks in a game that we're not going to cover here, 120-66. We covered it in the last game since we played the Knicks. They've played more than 5 games since that game. But, yeah, that was one of the blowouts. And so that'll tell you, you know, they had another blowout almost just as bad, if not worse, against the Detroit Pistons in their last game. We'll cover that one last. But we'll start at another blowout that they had against the Clippers in Los Angeles, or Inglewood, rather, 126-89. So the Nets are just, like, awful. They're trying to be as bad as possible so they can get a high pick. And that's really the story with this team. You lose to them and you're a damn shame. That's the bottom line. So in the game against the Clippers shot 56%, 44 of 78 from the field, and the Nets 29 of 85 for 34%. From the three-point line, the Nets shot 21%, 9 of 43. The Nets will launch a lot of threes. And Clippers 12 of 25 for 48% from three. Clippers got to the line 29 times, hit 26 of them for 90%. Brooklyn 25 times, hit 22 of them for 88%. Clippers rebound 51, Nets 36. 7 offensive boards for the Clippers, 9 for the Nets. 23 assists for the Brooklyn Nets, 20 for the Clippers. 14 steals for the Nets, 12 for the Clippers. 4 blocks for the Nets, 5 for the Clippers. 19 turnovers for the Clippers, 22 points conceded off of those. 17 turnovers for the Nets, 18 points conceded off of those. 11 fast break points for Brooklyn, 17 for the Clippers. 38 points in the paint for the Brooklyn Nets, 58 for the Clippers. Large lead of the game was 40 for the Clippers, and for the Nets it was 2. And the Clippers led 96% of the time, and the Brooklyn Nets led 1% of the time. All right, so getting into the box score. Brooklyn, Michael Porter Jr., 22 minutes, 9 points, 3 of 11 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3, 3 of 3 from the line, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover, minus 25 for Porter Jr. Claxton, 24 minutes, 6 points, 3 of 6 from the field, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 turnover, 1 block, 1 offensive board, minus 28. Terrence Mann, his return to the Clippers did not go well. 20 minutes, 8 points, 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, 1 offensive board, minus 16 from Mann. Drake Powell, one of my favorite young players in this draft, by the way. Sad that he landed with the Brooklyn Nets, but I definitely like this kid a whole lot. 25 minutes, 5 points, 1 of 6 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. Not a good show for him from the shooting standpoint. 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers, 1 steal, 2 offensive boards, minus 18 for Drake Powell. Yegor Demon, 29 minutes, 12 points, 3 of 11 from the field, 3 of 10 from 3, 3 of 3 from the line, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, plus minus 12. Yegor Demon is capable of doing big things, and he's capable of doing nothing. And that's the thing about Yegor. There's no in between for this young player. He's a rookie, and if he goes off for an entire triple-double with 20 points, I won't be surprised. If he goes 0 for 11 tonight and doesn't score, I wouldn't be surprised. But one thing's for certain, he is arguably the best drafted prospect passing player in this draft. He's one of the best passers in the draft, if not the very best passer in this entire previous draft. So Yegor Demon is a high-level point guard. He has opportunities to get huge minutes. And if he plays well against us, don't be surprised. If he sucks against us, don't be surprised. It's just where he's at in his development. Wilson, 20 minutes, 9 points, 3 of 8 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 2 of 3 from the line, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, plus 8 for Wilson. Liddell, 4 minutes, 3 points, hit his only 3-point attempt, 1 steal, minus 2. Zaire Williams, 21 minutes, 7 points, 2 of 6 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, 3 of 3 from the line, 3 rebounds, 1 turnover, 1 block, 2 offensive boards, minus 23 for Williams. Wolf, 26 minutes, 14 points, 3 of 13 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 offensive board, minus 22 for Wolf. That's another very dynamic rookie that they have. He's a big guy, center, but he kind of runs the point, so he can do a lot of triple-double type stuff too. He's been getting a lot of run with the Nets. I think he's a big part of their future, and just like Demon, he could have a big game. That's the future right there for them. Demon and Wolf are kind of what they have right now. Of course, Porter Jr. and Claxton are the guys that they have as well that they're probably going to move. The future is about those two and whatever else they can slap next to them, along with guys like Ben Seraph, of whom we'll talk about, and of course Drake Powell. That's their young guys that they drafted in the first round with all their draft picks. Not the greatest combination of players to have drafted in this draft. I thought they did a poor job, but individually these are all pretty good prospects, and I'm excited about Danny Wolf and what he could be in the future. Deron Sharp, 20 minutes, 8 points, 3 of 5 from the field, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals, 2 turnovers, 2 offensive boards, 1 block, minus 7. Hopefully he's a Laker by the end of this deadline. I actually want Deron Sharp on this team. I know Claxton is somebody we could be looking at, Porter as well. I don't think we'll actually get those two, but I think Sharp may be realistic. I'd like to think that we're trying to make a run at getting us a center. I think Deron Sharp is a guy that the Lakers should try to make ours within the next few days. Martin, 14 minutes, 2 points, 1 of 7 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3, 1 rebound, 2 assists, minus 16 for Martin. And Ben Seraph, 17 minutes, 6 points, 3 of 5 from the field, 1 from 3, 4 turnovers, 1 steal, minus 24 for Ben. And Kawhi had 28 for the Clippers. James Harden had 19 for the Clippers, 18 from Collins, 16 from Miller, and that's about it. Zubats had 11 points, 10 rebounds. And they blew the Brooklyn Nets out without any concern. All right, next up for the Nets, talking about a game against, who they play? The Suns. This was a close game in Phoenix. 106-102 was the score. They're on this Western road trip at this point. So most of the games they're playing against were against the West. Phoenix, 106-102. Of course, Brooklyn loses this one. And let's see what happens here. 56% for the Suns from the field, 43 of 77. 51% for Brooklyn, 38 of 75. Brooklyn shot 41% from the 3, 13 of 32. And the Suns, 5 of 20 for 25%. The Suns, 15 of 20 from the free throw line for 75%. And Brooklyn, 13 of 19 from the line, 68%. 35 rebounds for Brooklyn, 32 for the Suns, 12 offensive boards for Brooklyn, 10 for the Suns, 28 assists for the Nets, 22 for Phoenix, 9 steals for the Nets, 12 for Phoenix, 5 blocks for Phoenix, 2 for the Nets, 15 turnovers for the Suns, 15 points conceded off of those, 22 turnovers for Brooklyn, 25 points conceded off of those, 7 fast break points for the Nets, 20 for the Suns, 48 points in the paint for the Nets, 72 for Phoenix. 4 was the largest lead of the game for Brooklyn, 12 for the Suns, and the Suns led 88% of the time, and Brooklyn 8% of the time. All right. So the Brooklyn Nets, Michael Porter Jr., 37 minutes, 36 points, 15 of 24 from the field, 6 of 10 from 3, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 3 turnovers, 2 offensive boards, 0 on the plus minus. This was a game where, if I'm not mistaken, Porter shoved an assistant coach from the Nets in a melee that took place. A bunch of people were coming together. It was pretty ugly. And, yeah, that was kind of the highlight of the game, was that entire melee. Nicholas Claxton, 29 minutes, 8 points, 2 of 6 from the field, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 blocks, 3 offensive boards, minus 9 for Claxton. Man, 30 minutes, 7 points, 3 of 5 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3, 1 of 1 from the line, 3 rebounds, 3 turnovers, 2 assists, 1 offensive board, minus 14 for Terrence Mann, excuse me. Drake Powell, 8 minutes, did not attempt a shot, 1 turnover set down, and minus 9. Igor Demon, 31 minutes, 15 points, 5 of 9 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, 1 offensive board, minus 2 for Igor Demon. Zaire Williams, 28 minutes, 11 points, 3 of 9 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, 5 assists, 1 rebound, 1 steal, 1 turnover, plus 15. He led the entire team there, Zaire Williams. Wolf, 14 minutes, 4 points, 2 of 6 from the field, over 3 from 3, 5 rebounds, 2 turnovers, 1 offensive board, -3. Deron Sharp, 19 minutes, 7 points, 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 2 from the line, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 3 offensive boards, +5 for Sharp. Cam Thomas, 25 minutes, 11 points, 4 of 10 from the field, over 2 from 3, 3 of 5 from the line, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 0 and a +/-. Be careful with Cam Thomas, because if anybody who knows Cam Thomas, the one thing he can do is score a lot of points in bunches. So if he happens to have one of them Cam Thomas games, you could be looking at somebody who could potentially blow the game open and you ain't even see it coming. So be very careful with Cam Thomas. He's an extremely potent, extremely talented scorer. He don't really do much of anything else, but once he sees a few fall, he can run it all the way up to 50, 60 points. No exaggeration. He can definitely do that. And he's had stretches where he scores like an all-star. 40 tonight, 50 the next night, 38 the next night, 50 the next night. He's done it more than once where he has a week like that. So if this is the start of that for whatever reason, don't say you weren't warned. Cam Thomas, is a potent scorer of the basketball. One of the best in basketball, period. He's just kind of not really healthy a lot of the time, not particularly athletic, doesn't particularly do anything else. So he's not really considered a great player. But in that one category, he's pretty much an all-star. So be careful with him. Ben Saraf, 19 minutes, 3 points, 1 of 1 from the field, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 2 turnovers. Those 3 turnovers, 2 steals, 1 offensive board, -3 for Ben. And yeah, Dylan Brooks had 26 points. Williams had 27 points on really efficient shooting. Grayson Allen had 18. And Bouye had 10 off the bench. So the Suns continue to roll. They didn't have an easy game against Brooklyn, but they were able to get the victory, as expected. All right, next game was a loss against the Denver Nuggets in altitude, man. 107-103 was the score. And Denver, of course, got that win. 48% from the field they shot. 38-80 did the Denver Nuggets from the field. 37-85 for the Brooklyn Nets, 44% there from the field. From the three-point line, Nuggets shot well, 13-26 for 50%. Brooklyn, 14-37 for 38% from 3. From the free throw line, 15-18 for the Nets, 83%. 18-25 for the Nuggets, 72%. 49 rebounds for the Nets, 41 for the Nuggets. 14 offensive boards for the Nets, 7 for the Nuggets. They're capable of boarding. They are capable of boarding. They got guys. So be careful on the boards with them. 24 assists for both teams. 4 steals for the Brooklyn Nets, 6 for the Nuggets, 6 blocks for the Nets, 4 for the Nuggets. 9 turnovers for the Brooklyn Nets, 12 points conceded off of those, 7 turnovers for the Nuggets, 7 points conceded off of those. 11 fast break points for the Nuggets, 9 for the Nets, 42 points in the paint for the Nets, 40 for Denver. Largest lead of the game for the Nuggets was 19, and for the Nets it was 5, and Nuggets led 70% of the time, Nets 11% of the time. All right, Michael Porter continued his stretch. This was his return to the Nuggets, so he really put on a show. Still lost, but he put on a hell of a show. 37 minutes, 38 points, 13-28 from the field, 7 of 15 from 3, 5 of 5 from the line, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 2 offensive boards, plus 12. He only had 1 turnover in this basketball game. So he was definitely worthy of the All-Star appearance that he did not get. Snubbed for certain. Danny Wolf, 28 minutes, 7 points, 3 of 7 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 2 offensive boards, plus 5 for Danny Wolf. Nicholas Claxton, 31 minutes, 10 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 block, 3 offensive boards, plus 6 for Nicholas. Mann, 29 minutes, 12 points, 3 of 9 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 2 turnovers, 1 assist, 2 offensive boards, plus 11 for Mann. Nolan Traore, 30 minutes, 9 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3, 1 of 2 from the line, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, plus 4. This dude is fast. He's another one of them rookies that they drafted. They put together a bunch of guys that can pass the ball back and forth and basically play all the same position. Nolan is one of them ones that they drafted in the first round last year, rather. So be very careful with Nolan Traore. He's known for being quick. He can speed at the rim, get to the layups, up, get to the line, all that. He's very, very talented. Probably should be in a bigger role than what he's offered here. but he is definitely a high-powered rookie. Somebody who can have a big night tonight for certain. Number 88, Nolan Traore. We had his brother on our team for a couple of years. Y'all remember Traore. I don't know where he's at right now, but his brother's in the league, and this guy is a part of the Brooklyn Nets. All right, Wilson, 13 minutes, 8 points, 3 of 5 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, 1 rebound, 1 assist, -8 for Wilson. Deron Sharp, 17 minutes, 7 points, 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3. He had 9 boards, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 turnover, 5 offensive boards, -12 for Sharp. Martin, 17 minutes, 5 points, 2 of 8 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 6 rebounds, -19 for Tyrese Martin. Drake Powell, 20 minutes, 7 points, 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 turnover, -11 for Drake Powell. And Ben Saraf, 18 minutes, 0 of 4 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 1 block, -8 for Saraf. He did not score in this game. Peyton Watson had 19, Tim Hardaway had 25, and Jamal Murray had 27, and they had 5 players in double figures. Got the close win against the Brooklyn Nets, with Michael Porter Jr. returning and losing just the same. All right, next up was a win. The Nets beat the Jazz 109-99, and rare win for the Brooklyn Nets. And they shot 48% from the field, 39-82. The Jazz shot 50% from the field, 39-78. The Jazz shot 34% from 3, 10-29, and Brooklyn attempted 40 threes, hit 14 of them for 35%. Don't forget, the Nets shoot a lot of threes, and if it happens to be a hot night, they can beat you. I know it's hard to imagine, but as bad as we perimeter defend, with as many shots as they're willing to take from there, if for some reason an NBA team gets hot, man, you could lose to anybody when that's the dynamic. So we need to just be aware. They shoot a lot of threes, man. 17-28 from the free throw line, the Nets 61%, 58% for the Jazz, 11-19. Yeah, you're gonna lose a game and you only shoot 58 from the line, Utah. 47 rebounds for the Brooklyn Nets, 11 offensive boards for them, 33 rebounds for the Jazz, 6 offensive boards for them. So the Nets have shown an impressive ability to rebound the ball consistently throughout this 5-game stretch so far, 4 games, rather. 27 assists for the Nets, 26 for the Jazz, 6 steals for both teams, 5 blocks for the Nets, 4 for the Jazz, 12 turnovers for the Nets, 18 points conceded off of those, 11 turnovers for the Jazz, 9 points conceded off of those, 14 fast break points for Utah, 7 for Brooklyn, 56 points in the paint for Utah, 46 for Brooklyn. Large lead of the game for the Nets was 15, and for the Jazz it was 6. The Nets led 73% of the time, and the Jazz 24% of the time. All right, Danny Wolf, 28 minutes, 14 points, 6 of 11 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3, 0 of 2 from the line, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 2 offensive boards, -6 for Wolf. Claxton, 30 minutes, 6 points, 3 of 7 from the field, 0 of 6 from the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 turnovers, 2 blocks, 2 offensive boards, -2. So, yeah, he did great in the stocks category, but missed all 6 of his free throws. That's not going to cut it, Claxton. Man, 28 minutes, 7 points, 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 steal, 1 offensive board, -5 for Man. Yegor Demin, 29 minutes, 25 points, 8 of 16 from the field, 6 of 12 from 3, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover, 1 offensive board, +2 for Yegor Demin. Nolan Traore, 26 minutes, 7 points, 3 of 8 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3, 1 of 1 from the free throw line, 6 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 turnover, 2 blocks, -9 for Nolan. Wilson, 20 minutes, 9 points, 3 of 7 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, +16 for Wilson. Deron Sharp, 18 minutes, 16 points, 4 of 5 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3, 7 of 9 from the line, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, 3 offensive boards, +12 for Sharp. Cam Thomas, 24 minutes, 21 points, 7 of 15 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, hit all 6 of his free throws, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 turnovers, 1 offensive board, +14 for Thomas. Drake Powell, 16 minutes, 2 points, 1 of 1 from the field, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 offensive board, +14 for Drake. And Ben Saraf, 21 minutes, 2 points, 1 of 6 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, +14 for Ben. So this is the game where I can say, Yegor Demin showed you guys what I was telling y'all about. He was 6 of 12 from 3, had 25 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, that's a big game for Yegor. And then the Cam Thomas thing that I was telling y'all about, 21 minutes and 24 points, 7 of 15 from the field. So, you can see where these players are capable of helping their team when they're both playing well. They can really run it up. So that's just the nature of an NBA team. Even bad teams have players that, if given the right opportunities on the right night, can really play great. And that's what you saw from Yegor Demin and Cam Thomas, and they got the win on the road against the Utah Jazz. Utah had 5 players in double figures, with the high man being George. Sensabaugh had 18. Ace Bailey had 12. So that's kind of how that went for them. But they let Brooklyn come into their house and beat them. And, these are 2 tanking squads, so I'm pretty sure Utah's not upset about losing the game, especially against the Brooklyn Nets, of whom they are hoping to have a higher pick than. All right, so next up was a awful blowout, one of the worst blowouts. 130-77 was the score in Detroit. And, of course, the Pistons are a good team this year, man. So Brooklyn coming there wasn't going to work out for them. This was what it was. The Nets shot 33% from the field, 24 of 73. Pistons shot 56%, 48 of 85. The Nets shot 7 of 31 from the 3 for 23%, and 12 of 32 for Detroit.
Wayfair's top 3 home refresh idea.
That's 38% for those who couldn't hear me with that ad doing that. 81% from the free throw line for the Nets, 22 of 27, and for the Pistons, 22 of 29 for 76% from the free throw line. Both of these teams had 43 rebounds, 10 offensive boards for Brooklyn, 5 offensive boards for Detroit. 33 assists for the Pistons, 17 for the Nets. 17 steals for the Pistons, 3 for the Nets. 6 blocks for the Pistons, 2 for the Nets. 25 turnovers for the Nets, 39 points conceded off of those. 8 turnovers for the Pistons, 7 points conceded off of those. 28 fast break points for Detroit, 9 for the Nets. 70 points in the paint for Detroit, 30 for the Nets. 55 was the largest lead of the game for the Pistons. 5 was the largest lead for the Nets, and the Pistons led 89% of the time. The Nets led 11. So basically, the Pistons stole the ball and ran the other way repeatedly. Layup, layup, dunk, layup, layup. That's how that went. That's exactly how that game went. No question about it. So, Danny Wolf, 29 minutes, 6 points, 2 of 9 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 turnovers, 1 block, minus 43 for Danny Wolf. Nick Claxton, 17 minutes, 10 points, 5 of 9 from the field, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 steal, 2 offensive boards, minus 32 for Nick Claxton. Man, 20 minutes, 4 points, 2 of 3 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, minus 34 for Man. Yegor Demin, 15 minutes, 3 points, 0 of 4 from both the 3 and field, hit all 3 of his free throws, 1 assist, 1 turnover, minus 20 for Yegor Demin. See what I'm saying? It's like it's all or nothing with that guy. Nolan Traore, 17 minutes, 5 points, 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 1 rebound, 4 turnovers, 2 assists, 1 block, minus 18 for Traore. Wilson, 27 minutes, 8 points, 2 of 8 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 3 of 4 from the line, 7 rebounds, 2 turnovers, 1 offensive board, minus 16 for Wilson. E.J. Liddell, 10 minutes, 5 points, 2 of 4 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, 2 rebounds, minus 12 for Liddell. Sharp, 22 minutes, 8 points, 2 of 5 from the field, 4 of 6 from the line, 11 rebounds, 5 turnovers, 3 offensive boards, minus 12 for Sharp. Martin, 8 points, 0 of 2 from the 3 and field, 1 rebound, 1 turnover, minus 9 for Martin. Cam Thomas, 23 minutes, 12 points, 4 of 10 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3. Hit his only free throw attempt, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 turnovers, 1 offensive board, minus 19. Drake Powell, 32 minutes, 12 points, 3 of 7 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3. Hit all 5 of his free throws, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 offensive board, minus 30 for Powell. And Saraf, 19 minutes, 4 points, 0 of 5 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 1 rebound, 4 assists, 2 steals, minus 20 for Ben Saraf. Jenkins and Cunningham had 18. Jalen Duren was a high man with 21. He also had 10 boards. The newly all-star Jalen Duren, congratulations to him. And Marcus Sasser had 10 off the bench, 11 for Harris, and that was enough to just destroy the Brooklyn Nets. Steals. Oscar Thompson, 3 steals. Cunningham, 4 steals. Jalen, 2 steals. Marcus Sasser, 3 steals. Holland, 2 steals. I'm telling you, they stole the ball and they went the other way. That was it. And Brooklyn couldn't do nothing but lose bad because of it. Certain games shouldn't be played. That was probably one of them. So that's pretty much that, man. We don't have to cover any more of this bad Brooklyn team. They are awful. If you lose to them, it's the worst loss of the season by far. Yeah, they did have some close games against the Nuggets and the Suns, but boy, did they get stomped out by the Clippers, Pistons, and of course, the guys down the street, the Knicks, who we just lost to, destroyed them by like 50-something points. So this is a god-awful basketball team. I don't think they particularly drafted well this past season, despite having 5 first-round picks. And I just think they got their heads in a different space. They were getting guys all from Israel. That's really what the plan was. Make sure that everybody we draft is from Israel. So if that's what you're going to do, you got some nice prospects, but you left some good stuff on the board. And as a result, your team is, going to go as far as they take them. I like Porter, but you got to try to get something for him. I don't think he's doing much but being an all-star snub on a bad basketball team. Move on from him. Claxton's a nice player. Maybe he can get you a first-round pick if you trade him. You probably should be looking to do that. They do have a lot of picks in a future that looks pretty bright because of it, but if they keep drafting with the wrong stuff in mind, believe me, they're not going to be very good. And so that's kind of what it is. Brooklyn Nets had a promising start several years ago when they moved the team to Brooklyn, but they traded all their picks for old guys, and they got what came of that, and then they turned around and did it again, and they got what came of that, and they just are a bad organization, have been bad the entire time, and it's sad because the Nets have been bad my entire life with the exception of the 2 years that they went to the finals, for which one, we swept them in the finals, and the other was San Antonio beat the hell out of them in the finals. They're just a bad franchise. They've been bad, and they're going to continue to be bad. And I don't know what's going to save them, but I do think they have some stuff that they could potentially move to get a little better. And, they got to play the draft. But if you're going to play the draft, you got to do it with basketball in mind, not politics. So that's my take on the Brooklyn Nets. That's been my take on the Brooklyn Nets. And y'all know how I feel about all that stuff if you watch all of my other videos. But at the end of the day, I do like the prospects they have. Wolf, Saraf, Demon, those are nice players. You know what I mean? I think they can really be something. So it's not like they suck. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they were drafted with something else in mind, not necessarily basketball. And that's just something we all have to just kind of pay attention to with them going forward. So, yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see how it works out, man. I like those players. I think they can be pretty good. Drake Powell, as I said, is one of my favorite young rookies. I really like, what's the young player, the other guy, Nolan Traore. They're nice players, but I think they all play the same position. They should all be in different spots, given opportunities to be backup point guards with the position, with the potential to become starters someday, all in different situations, instead of playing with one another, trying to usurp one another. Ben Saraf shouldn't have to compete with Nolan Traore. Diego Demon shouldn't have to compete with both of those guys. And Wolf is a point forward. So it's like they picked up 4 point guards and Drake Powell in the draft with 5 first-round picks. That's what they decided to do. It's just... And then you look up and find out 2 of those guys from Israel. It's like, got it. Yeah, I get it. So it is what it is, man. We'll have them to beat up on tonight and bounce back. Hopefully we do what we're supposed to do. Hopefully we don't overlook this team, because I know we got a big game against Philly at home finally after the end of the road trip, which ends tonight. So I know we're excited about getting back home. People sleeping in their own beds. It's been a rough road trip, even though we've been above 500 on it. The weather's been terrible across the East Coast, so they've been hitting all of the different spots that have had the coldest weather, it seems. So I'm sure this team is ready to come home, man, and I would not be overly surprised if they have a letdown game tonight, but they should still win it. But heavy legs, distant minds, trade deadline right around the corner. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a close game, just off of the strength of the Lakers just not being all there. They weren't all there against the Knicks. They weren't really all there against most of these teams. The Dallas game comes to mind. We didn't really have it. Cleveland, we didn't show up. The Grammy road trip is very tough, and it is what it is, man. We had to deal with it, and it's finally over with the end of this game. So let's just get us an easy victory against a Brooklyn Nets team that should not be looking to compete. Probably couldn't if they tried, unless they get a big game out of people, which is possible, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Porter, let's say Porter and Cam Thomas both have big scoring nights, suddenly you're in a different type of basketball game. What if Diego Demon decides to do the 21 and 10 thing? Suddenly you're in a different basketball game. They have guys who can go off. But, Wolf can go for a double-double. They have guys who can go off. But you don't expect it's going to happen because this is a bad basketball team. That's what it comes down to. But don't sleep on the centers. They are trying to get out of those situations, particularly Claxton and Sharp would love to get away from the Nets, I believe. And a lot of rumors have been said that the Lakers are trying to get those guys, so I wouldn't be surprised if they try to audition tonight to assure that they have some interest entering into this trade deadline on Thursday. So, yeah, this would be a wonderful time for any of them Nets who want to get the hell out of there to play big. All eyes are on you with the Lakers in town. The atmosphere is always nice in Brooklyn, man. It's always a nice place to play. It's going to be a certain flavor. They built a lot of what it is that they do around Biggie Small and the Coogee sweater and all of that. So that's dope as a hip hop fan. I always like when we play in Brooklyn. I wish the Brooklyn Nets were a legitimate team, but the ambiance there and the energy there is always fun. And they really could use a change of pace as it pertains to what it is their team is doing. To fit a good brand. So that's what I want to say. I've always liked the Brooklyn Nets brand, but I just don't think they've ever made sound basketball decisions. I don't. Even when they put together the big three with Kyrie, James Harden, and KD, the team was terrible surrounding those guys, and it was because it was poorly put together. So I just don't think they've ever had a good brain trust. I really don't. I think they have a bad one right now, it seems, and I don't think it's getting any better if the same people are going to continue to make these decisions. I just don't. I really don't. I think they're the Sacramento Kings of the East, to be honest. And it's a shame because they have a big market. So that's pretty much what I got to say about the Nets, man. It would be utterly the most embarrassing loss probably in over 3 years if we lose to this team tonight. I'm just going to be honest with you. You should never, ever lose to a team that's getting blown out by 55 points twice in a matter of like 10 games. In the last 10 games, 2 of those games combined for over a 100-point loss. Like, that's just not reasonable. That's not reasonable. And so if we lose to this team tonight, as I told you guys, I'm not going to have a whole lot to say. Unless something unprecedented happens, like Porter goes for 75 or something. Unless something unprecedented happens to where it's undeniable that you're going to lose. If they shoot 100% from behind the arc on like 50 attempts, yeah, you're going to lose. But outside of something outer-worldly happening, if the Lakers just come out and don't beat the Nets, I will give you stats. And as I promised, I ain't going to have a whole lot to say. Because I'm not going to give it as much energy as I gave the Nets game. The Nets game, I was cussing, I was frustrated, all of that. I want us to beat good teams. We have done a great job of beating bad teams. I don't think that's going to change tonight. I really do. I expect for us to win this game without any concern whatsoever. So, let's see what these teams are wearing tonight. I almost forgot about that. I'll give you all the information that comes with the other app that I pay attention to when I cover these games. So give me a moment, and we will look that up and see what the game preview says in regards to all the different stuff. All right, so the Lakers' home and away record is 17-11. For the Nets, it's 6-17. We are 29-19 for 6th in the West, and the Nets, of course, 13-35 for 13th in the East. The Nets are 26 offensive rating, 26 defensive rating, and 26 net rating. The Lakers are 9 offensive rating, 25th defensive rating, and 18th net rating. So they are just slightly behind us defensively. That is sad to be as bad as the Brooklyn Nets defensively. That is absolutely sad. And to be honest with you, with the offensive talent that we have, we should be better than 9th offensively too. That's unacceptable. So we need to be better in some key areas. I don't think you can improve defensively, as we mentioned in the previous video, but I do think we can be better offensively for certain. So the Nets are wearing their traditional blacks, nothing special there. We're going to be wearing our traditional home yellows on the road. So it should pop off of that black floor that they got very nicely. And Austin Reeves is expected to start tonight, man. Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Jake LaRafia, and DeAndre Ayton makes out the starting lineups. And Diego Demon, Terrence Mann, Michael Porter, Noah Clowney, and Nick Claxton also. Noah Clowney did not play in any of the previous games, as we did not mention his name, but he will decide to come back against the Lakers like all these idiots do. Not very happy with Noah for that crap, but hopefully he has a 0 for 7 3-point shooting night like he tends to do, because Noah Clowney shoots entirely too many 3-point shots for his own good. And I've been saying that for a couple years now. They just allow him to shoot too many threes. They really do. So expect for him to do so tonight. So yeah, Austin Reeves a game time decision, but they have him listed as a starter. I have my doubts that the Lakers going to send him out there against this bad team, but then again, maybe they will send him out there against a bad team to try to get in rhythm. I don't know. At this point, why have him play in a road trip at all? Just wait till he gets back home, let him rest a little bit, and send him out there against Philly, maybe. But if they're that scared of what could potentially happen, not allowing him to come back in any of these previous games he's been a game time decision for, I don't see any reason to send him out there against a horrible Brooklyn Nets team. Absolutely not. I see no reason to do that. So that's pretty much what I got to say, man. Rebound the ball. Don't underestimate this team's ability to shoot volume threes. They're going to shoot over 43s tonight for certain at home. Role players play better at home. Our role players were trash against the Knicks, so I hope they bounce back against some lesser talent tonight. And just do all the little tricks, man. You're going up against a team full of youngsters, man. So grift, draw fouls, do all the little stuff that gets those guys in foul trouble, get in their head, whatever you got to do. In this game early, I expect Luka to come out, score early in the first quarter, just like he did against Washington, run the score up, and then we just fend them off for the rest of the game, try to keep our minds focused on the game. Coming out of the locker room is important. We've had some bad third quarters on the road in this road trip. That was part of the problem in most of these games, especially against the New York Knicks where we turned the ball over a lot, especially against the Dallas Mavericks where we scored like 18 points in the third. I think we had a bad third quarter against most of these teams, honestly. So that's really a thing. How are we coming out of that damn locker room, JJ? What we doing? And I'd like to think this is like the last game we'll have to see some of these people, man, particularly Gabe Vincent. I want him off the team. I really hope we move his expiring contract at the deadline, but I'm kind of hesitant to think that anybody's actually going to take him for anything that would be worth having or whatever. So I would be very, very frustrated if he's not gone over the next 3 days. Very frustrated. It wouldn't matter as much if the coach would use him as according to how he's played, but that he keeps him in regular rotation, for me, is a deal breaker. You know, having an expiring contract at $10 million is fine for our books, but you actually have to see this guy every night because this coach keeps playing him, man. So that's where it becomes a bit of a problem as a fan, knowing that, you know, he struggles. But he's had a good road trip for his standards, but his standards are so far in the toilet that it still ain't acceptable. Even when he's playing his best, you can do better with somebody else. And that's the truth. So we always tell the truth here. And, of course, Dalton Knecht said he wants off of this team. I don't see why we shouldn't be able to move him, but I'm not in this mindset where we just have to move him just because he made this trade demand. He don't have no leverage. If we can get what we want from him, cool. Otherwise, he can just sit his butt on that bench. So that's just what it has to be. I personally would play him, me personally. But, again, this is JJ's thing. He's going to sit him. That's JJ's thing. So, yeah, man, I'm frustrated with JJ. Losing to the Nets will make me a lot more frustrated with JJ, but I don't believe in not playing young players. I don't care if they've shown you they can play or not. It's your job to get the most out of them. They made it to the league, so they obviously have something to give and a lot to learn. So if you're killing kids' confidence and then from there saying you don't believe in them and then from there playing a bunch of other people that are not delivering for you, you're just going to lose the locker room. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, LeBron James, the reports are out that said he's about ready to move on from the Lakers. Lakers ready to move on from him. I didn't make a video on that. I haven't been taking the bait on a lot of these conversations, y'all, to be honest with you. If you've been watching my channel, I just haven't really been taking the bait. That's bait. Y'all want to tell me you want to move on from LeBron James at the trade deadline? He has to waive his no trade clause in order for that to happen. I don't see him doing that with his son on his team unless we're going to trade them both. And I don't see us trading them both. But maybe we do. I don't know. If it happens, we'll talk about it. But as far as me actually thinking that 41-year-old LeBron James is going to move away from Los Angeles to somewhere like Denver so he can compete for a 5th championship, I am 41 years old. Me and him are about 2 months apart. We ain't going nowhere. If we are going somewhere, it's going to be in the off season. Not necessarily in the middle of a season. I'm not walking away. It's bad for my legacy. I'm not getting traded. It's bad for my legacy. He's not waiving his no trade clause, if you're asking me. Now, could he be tired of the Lakers? Yeah. You move on from my best friend AD. We had a nice thing going. We believed in it. You brought in Luka. Now you want to give him the reins. It's not quite what I had in mind. Our team is not good enough to win. Hell yeah, I'm kind of tired of y'all. A lot of stuff has been floating around that y'all tired of me. Tired of my homeboy down here he's making content on y'all and all this different stuff. Yeah, I can see LeBron ready to move on. He's done the Laker thing for 8 years now. It's only gotten him one championship, one NBA Finals appearance. This is a guy who's used to being in the finals every damn year. I could totally see where he kind of tired of this. We've been making mistakes around the team. The team hasn't been good enough because of it. So it's like, yeah, man, he's not from Los Angeles. I can see where he's tired of this. Yeah, for sure. I can see where he's tired of this. And as far as the Lakers, well, it's always been in our best interest to not build the way we were building. So because we were trying to build around two forwards, one of which didn't want to be the center, but we needed to play the center, it was kind of hard to build, and then we were always doing stuff we had no business doing, pulling ourselves further and further in the depths, making it more difficult to build around them properly, drafting poorly. It's a lot of mistakes being made trying to balance around LeBron James and Anthony Davis. We got Luka now. Yeah, I can see guys ready to move on, man. I can see the Lakers being ready to move LeBron so that they don't have to necessarily move Austin, to bring Luka and Austin the players that ultimately will lead us into the future, that fit around those guys better, to make our defense a bit better. Yeah, all of that makes sense to me. I can see where both sides are about ready to move on, man. That's not a thing, though. That's not really a thing. I want to say that if the Lakers try to move LeBron James at the deadline, you're not going to get something back better right now. You're not. You know what I mean? You're not going to get nothing better right now. Because LeBron at this age with a no trade clause getting ready to expire second half of the season, is he really going to a certain place to make them better if they're giving us anything we like, we actually want? No. Are they going to be willing to give us anything we want? No. Are they going to give us picks? No. So it's like, and if they do give us picks, does that help our winning situation right now? No. Have we drafted very well with the picks that we've had? No. All these things, no. So it's like, you've gotten this far with LeBron. You could be ready to move off from him all you want, but he has to say yes to it. And that's really what it is from the Lakers' perspective. We do have new ownership. I don't know how Walter feels about LeBron, how dedicated he is to what Jeannie was dedicated to, but at this point, it's still up to LeBron whether he moves on or not. And with his son being in place, unless you're willing to move his son as well, for which I know his son don't want to move away from Los Angeles. You see what I'm saying? You're going to move them to Denver. You're going to move them to Cleveland. His son don't want to move to another place. So it's going to be a situation where the son's like, yo, I'd like to stay with the Lakers. And he ain't going to leave his son. He's not going to do it. That's just my speculation. People could be ready to go, but people ain't going nowhere. That's really what it is. Now, in the offseason, totally different story. Totally different story. But like mid-season right now, over the next 2 days, I think it's a minus 3% chance LeBron James gets traded. I just don't think it's going to happen unless people have been planning this the entire time, for which I don't think they have. So we'll see what happens, man. I honestly think LeBron James probably going to retire at the end of the season. I do. I really do. At this point, I think his body's telling him he probably should. He's having games where he's going into Madison Square Garden only scoring 20 points. I just don't know how much longer he wants to go, knowing that his body is starting to slow down as it pertains to what he's capable of doing. He's not used to this. He's not, trying very hard and only coming with 20 points. Yeah, I don't think he wants to do this for much longer. I don't. So a one-and-done year with Cleveland could be a thing. But somebody said something that made a lot of sense to me in regards to LeBron. They said LeBron did not want to have a farewell tour like Kobe because he didn't want fans to be disappointed on the road when he doesn't play in certain games, thinking that they're going to have him there when he may low manage, may not be available. He just didn't want to do that to the fans. And if that's a nugget, then he can retire at any moment. And I'm telling y'all, at 41 years old, I can tell you how I feel right now. It gets to a point where it's like, I don't want to run around with 21-year-olds, bro. I don't. It's time to sit up somewhere, enjoy your money, you know what I'm saying? Do some more commercials. That's what time it is. That's what time it is for LeBron. Raise his daughter. You know what I'm saying? That's what time it is, man. His second son is now in a relationship. His first son, the one that's on the Lakers, he has a son on the way or a daughter on the way. It's time to be a granddaddy, man. It's time to be grandpa. I just don't think this basketball thing needs to continue much longer for LeBron James to be fulfilled in regards to his goals in the NBA. I don't think so. He had nothing left to prove. He don't have to go back to Cleveland. He already won a championship for Cleveland. They ain't going to win one next year. Not in my opinion. They're going to play for the Knicks for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's in Los Angeles. Everything's here. You got the best weather here. He just went across the country for the last 2 weeks. He saw how bad the weather could be everywhere else. He's in the best place for himself. And so that's my take. I don't think he's going to actually want to play anywhere else. I don't. He may be on the fence right now. I think the conclusion he's going to come to is salute. That's exactly what I think he's going to do. And I think a lot of that has to do with Anthony Davis now being in Dallas. If Anthony was still here, that might change some things in that regard. But I don't think he's married to the Luka LeBron timeline. I don't think he's married to any of that. I think he likes Luka a lot, but I don't think that's his cup of tea as it pertains to playing with Luka particularly. I don't think so. So that's just my take on things. I think he's going to retire at the end of the year. I really do. People are going to ask him to take a pay cut. I don't see why. He don't have to do that. So we'll see, man. We'll see. That's just my speculation. We're very different people, me and LeBron, but we are the same age. And I just think at this point it's time to be a grandpa, dude. I really do. So that's what I'll say, man. This might be his last day in Brooklyn. If y'all Brooklyn fans, big LeBron fans, this is definitely the night to be in the house because I don't know that he's going to play there again. So that's really what I got to say, man. Hopefully we can make it a good game. Obviously, this is not the most important game in the world, but it can be considered a trap game because you don't expect anything to happen. You expect to go in there and beat them even if you don't play well. And this is the NBA. It doesn't work like that. So we had better play well if we expect to win, and I think if we do, we will win. But this is a team that has played some close games against some pretty good teams, Nuggets and Suns specifically. So don't look at those blowouts and say that's the only thing you can see from them. It's not the case. All right, so 4:30 is the game time, 7:30. We'll, of course, have the videos for you and all that good stuff. Very happy to be at the end of this road trip. And, we're not overlooking anybody. Face the Nets tonight. We'll be prepared. BDO 44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.